Wait a minute. Hold on. We back.
Thank you, Lee. I know you call. People wonder why this gets so difficult. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it gets trying. I mean, like, this is crazy. But anyway, where was my thought? What, you remember the last thing I said?
No, sorry. You were talking about an article. So crazy. Let me move this mouse and make sure it's out.
There's you two tonight. Currency change and the zero deletion brings multiple benefits. Now, I did a whole Patreon series about the benefits of removing the 3 zeros in a low inflation environment. And when people ask me on Twitter or somewhere else about, well, talk about redenomination. There's no redenomination. They're issuing new coins or lower fills and denominations to fill in for what they want to call for the zero notes. Now, the zero notes, now, if you want to talk about those for a second, are those that are going to be picked up when they have the whole reinstatement of the Iraqi Dinar, Article 8. Now, are they 100% Article 8? No, because they haven't reinstated their currency. But they're far past Article 7. Now, there's a big talk about Article 7 in Kuwait right now, because Iraq and Kuwait share an oil field, right? Mm-hmm. And because of them sharing that oil field, they're saying that because Kuwait has stolen a lot of that oil, that Iraq, therefore, doesn't have to pay back any of the oil revenues that were done because of oil sharing that was done based upon the reparations. You see what I'm saying? And that might be a nail in the coffin for Kuwait. I will say this for Kuwait. Kuwait never wanted Iraq to pay back them in undervalued currency. I think that's where people got this all wrong. Kuwait wanted them to pay them back in revalued currency. Kuwait figures that if their currency is worth $3.22, why would I accept something less than $1/10 of a dollar? 100/10 of a dollar. You see what I'm saying? Kuwait is the world's leader in exotic currency. I don't believe ever that they wanted to see any of the Iraqi dinar back in their circulation undervalued. Now,
there was a bomb that you were going to drop on Monday. What was that?
I don't remember.
Okay, and then Vic had a question in the last live just now. He wanted to know, Vic, repost that again, but I think it was, are you concerned about the auctions still going?
No, because a lock has not been replaced. When a lock's replaced, the auctions will go away. Mm-hmm. I'm more concerned with seeing the issuance. Now, issuance is a key word for the... if you look at that website that Mark posted, I posted it on Patreon, I posted it on YouTube, I posted it on Facebook, I posted it on Twitter. The issuance of the Iraqi dinar, their number one thing is bringing it back to the international stage. That's their number one goal. That's more what I'm concerned with.
Weezy said the bomb you were going to drop was the Arab monetary B.
The Arab monetary. Yeah, the Arab monetary bond that, if you look at the world's most profitable dinar, the world's most profitable all currencies are all dinar. In that are all the Arab monetary fund. Iraq is going to reinstate higher than the highest of the the Arab monetary fund. Arabian monetary fund. Sorry about that.
What did she call? Oh, okay. No, go ahead.
That was the bomb I was going to drop, and I could prove it because if you look at
that
it,
article,
I posted on Patreon already.
Mm-hmm, I know.
Okay,
I can post it in here too.
You can.
I mean, it's a few days ago, so because everything on that list, it was like the top 20 or top 10
currencies in the world,
and
like 7 of them
were dinar. Yeah. Yeah.
And Iraq is not, it's way undervalued, suppressed artificially because of a auction system. Now, a lot of people are going to look at you and say, well, Kuwait's different, Libya's different, Bahrain is different, Oman is different. No, they're not. They're all oil. That's why when people tell me oil, as long as fossil fuels run the world, gold will not be a big factor. I'm not looking for the gold standard because the oil standard is the most exotic and the most valuable currencies of all time right now. Now, it could change. I could be wrong. But I'm looking for oil countries to lead that. That's why next I'm looking for Venezuela. Next I'm looking for Vietnam. Next I'm looking for Mexico. All places with huge oil reserves. Okay? I've never looked at gold to that standard. That's not my thing. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. It's not a bad benchmark if you're looking at the stock market or hedging against inflation. But if you're looking at countries that hold major values, Mexico, Venezuela, Iraq, Iran, all of those are emerging markets and all of them are based in oil.
Kathleen wants to know what's with the government having 10 birthdays off? Are there 10 days off?
10 days off. They have holidays for everything in Iraq. I'm sorry, but that's their modus operandi. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. They get more done when they're off than when they're in session. So stop telling me that, oh, they're off, so nothing's going to happen. They get more done when they're off when they do when they're in session. And you all see that every day. Ready? Mm-hmm. Mahandi's going to work with the World Bank. Grain production, I told you guys about that.
Is the dinar going to revalue at a lower number and slowly rise to the highest value?
How would it? Why would you turn in your notes at a low number even if you were in Iraq? Think about it. If I was in Iraq and I was suffering, right? And I want to turn in my note, but now I have some realization that everything I ever heard of was real about the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Why would I turn it right at first? Iraq, if you look historically through the journal that I read through for my Patreon notes said, if they're ever going to exchange their notes, they're going to do so about 30 to 60 days outside of the reinstatement. The reinstatement is going to be the same as pre-war times plus inflation. So no, there's no possibility in my mind. Now it could happen. I mean, absolutely could happen. But based upon my research, it reinstated to $3.22. That's reinstatement. That when it's going to rise upon dirty float. And the reason for it is they told you guys that they're going to collect all those 3-0 notes before 4 months to 6 months. They're not going to do that at a low rate. You guys got to catch wind, man. Now look, they're going to do that. They've already told you that between 30 days and 90 days. The most 180 days. That's your dirty float. My whole operation Miranda is going to be, am I going to exchange most of my money at $3.22? I have to wait at least 15 to 30 days to see a rate change. And then after that, that's it. You could trade on Forex, but that's where your big gains and big losses are going to be. If it's going to hit $12, it's going to hit it because of Forex, not because of the exchange rate on the UN operational rates. It doesn't happen that fast.
Wasabi said, you dropped the real bomb. You got a maid pre-RV.
Man, I've had a maid since, God,
since long? I've known you. In that apartment. Remember?
Yeah. Before then, though, 10 years. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because I can't clean up after myself. I need help. I have people that have to help me because...
Oh, my God.
I just do.
You don't pick up behind yourself.
Bullshit. I pick up behind myself really good. I have a lot of space and stuff that need to be picked up. I have her come over here and pick up behind her.
That's not true, you guys. He's just cleaned out his closet. That's the only thing he's done. I pick up behind you. That's why I found your cup. And she didn't put it there. Thank you. I know exactly when you did that. When you got in my car and I drove you around.
Uber black.
That's why I don't like driving. I'm the chauffeur of the house.
Okay. Now, Iraq has again re-emphasized the fact that if you go in or out of the country and you come in or out with $10,000 USD or $20,000, or excuse me, 20,000 US dollars, you are required to declare it, especially leaving Iraq. Why would they, and I ask this again, why would Iraq care how much worthless currency came in or out of Iraq based upon that? It makes no sense. There's more security done with Iraq than there is with Syria, Libya, Bahrain, any of the places that are higher in probably terroristic threat, because Iraq's currency is under more scrutiny because of the IMF. Okay?
Kenneth, you asked the question. I think I missed it. Ask it again, okay? Thanks.
Talabini
Oh, no, I asked.
stressed opening up the file of Article 140. Article 140 brings apart the ACL, brings apart a lot of things. Establishing those disputed areas helps out a whole bunch. The central bank approves international ratings agency to classify banks operating in Iraq. And a lot of people noticed that recently that Iraq has shown a decimal point to their Iraqi dinar. I told you guys that when that decimal point moves, that it's going to move in such a way that they will need fractional banking. It's no secret that now they're introducing a decimal point, because when they move it, it's going to have a major revaluation to the point where when it moves, it could be 0.001223 or 21 or whatever, based upon the Arab basket. Now, Pimpe told you that. So don't freak out about a decimal point, okay? That's normal. We're looking for that. They said in the next legislative section that there's going to be a bunch of laws to be raised the standard of living for Iraqi citizens, stressing the importance of adoption of the oil and gas law, pointing existing 5 draft laws. I think the main thing right there is to see the oil and gas laws, because now they're addressing Article 140. Understand this: if they're addressing Article 140 right now, going into the next legislative session, I actually fully expect that to be completed, right? So Article 140, not that it's done, but that it's done in the sense that they've argued that point. Oil and gas is the next thing that you see in print every day. I think that's the next thing to be done. And dealing with Kuwait and with those monies owed from those back pays from the old war, I think they're going to solve that through the oil pool and say, look, it's a wash. There was a long read about Kurdistan and the historical wrongdoings. The CBI made a big announcement about the wealth and the transfer of wealth in and out of Iraq, and them going to the inter-budget measure from 2018 to 2022. They're back on track for that. The CBI also has not denounced a lock. He is still in power, but I believe he's going to be transferred. And that is the news.
Red Pill says, Iraq put out an article about a plan for the next 5 years. They wouldn't do that with undervalued currency. We're getting closer.
Yeah, they wouldn't. I mean, the idea is that if they know that the world's going to change and OPEC's going to be broken up, oil's going to drop down to $52 a barrel, they're going to seek other markets to sell their oil to, because they deal in petrodollars, which are U.S. dollars, and not trade like Vietnam or other people, right? So they're going to try to preserve that.
Sammy D says, I wonder if they're going to have that government done, which is it, but publicly on the 13th or possibly next week.
It could be the next week. It could be probably the 13th. You got to think, when they're launching the MOE, they're pretty much telling you they're done, in my opinion. They're pretty much saying, I think by the end of this month, you could see a wealth transfer that you've never seen before.
GQ Pretty Boy 19, I believe that they will dirty RV to 16-1.
Not to be understaken by Kuwait that went over 12. I could see it happening that high. I don't know if you and I will be a part of that. That'll be a part of Forex, not a part of the whole, day-to-day trading because of your operational rate.
Question: are they going international before the next session?
No, the next session is now. It happened on Tuesday, and that didn't happen now.
Okay. Okay, you spoke on that one. So is Frank 25 plus 1 Intel false?
Absolutely. It's bullshit. You can prove it. I read that article about the coins, the podcast before the one we missed, and then there's no absolute news anywhere about Iraq talking about billboards or coins
Wait a minute.
in the news. It's
So
bullshit.
remember somebody sent you an article or sent you something about the gold coins that Frank was showing were from some place else?
Yeah, they're from an article that I had read about from months earlier.
But okay, it was something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those coins were a screenshot from Google, but they were the old coins. And the person caught them, and I'm not dogging out Frank. I'm not saying nothing bad about Frank 26.
No, I just
he's just trying to get to the truth, and he's never said nothing bad against me. No, he's never said nothing bad, so I feel him. And he's on YouTube trying to make a living. I get him, but that's not what happened.
Right. I just saw something somewhere. I don't know if it's in Twitter space or what. Somebody.
There are no billboards with coins on them. There's no Iraqi TV with that on there.
Okay. There was something I saw. When the RI happens, will Iraq be able to handle all the dinar being cashed in at one time?
Yeah, because it's going to be deposited, not withdrawn. Think about it. If you're collecting those notes, the reason why the RI happens is because people are actually depositing those notes, not withdrawing them. That's why it works.
Producer boy wants to know what we're drinking. I'm drinking what do you call it? When you put it in the water enhancers. It's a sour apple Jolly Rancher.
And I'm drinking water and water.
Okay. Ow! Why are you pitching on me? I'm trying to read the questions, man. Just the facts. Stop it, man. It's throwing me off here. Is the list complete?
Yes. Yeah, it is. You're waiting for incidentals now. Because the list has been completed, meaning the MOE is in place, that they've got a fully functioning government, via that they're about able to touch the donor conference money, that Kuwait's talking to them, that tells you the list is complete. Now, when they're ready to go internationals, when they launch those coins, to tell the world that, look, we're Article 8 compliant. They're ready. It's not like they're not ready. So don't look, sit back and enjoy the ride. If it's between now and January, I would hate to say that because I hate a lot of the YouTubers out there, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. They don't have a choice. They've already told you that they're going to introduce those lower coins. If they tell you they're going to mint other coins, they're going to launch them. Now, if they're going to launch them, they have to be between 100 fil to $1 fil. Those coins have to hold a value. Now, since they have to hold a value, that's automatically telling you that your currency holds value. So relax. Enjoy the ride. Listen to the news, right? If that's what you're into. Me, I'm into the news because at that point, upon the reinstatement, I have between day 1 to day 15 exchange at a certain rate, 15 to 30 at another rate, 30 to 60 at another rate. Because by the time 60 days is up, you and I will be out of the Iraqi Dinar exchange business. You and I. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but you and I will be done.
So sit back, enjoy the ride?
Yeah.
Watch 90 Day Fiancé?
No.
Love After Lockdown?
No. Watch the Iraqi news and understand where you are based upon the information that they give.
It's part of the ride, baby. Question is it true that Iraq wants to have the coins out on the streets for 3 months prior to the reinstatement?
No. Why would you want coins out for no value for 3 months? That makes 0 sense. 0. None.
0? You sure?
None.
Okay. Sorry, hold on. Responding. Let's see. So, can the operational rate possibly go higher than 322? Just wondering because if they become higher in the Arab fund out of the nations in the Middle East.
Because the more they collect those 30 notes off of the streets, yes, it could go higher than 322 to protect the Arab countries from economic, what do you call it? Economic terrorism. So the higher the notes goes, it solidifies Iraq that no one can go in behind them and buy up their currency and buy up their country. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Iraq shares the largest reserve of oil in the world with Kuwait. Why wouldn't they protect themselves high? Why would they come out at 5 cents? So someone could come in and buy it at like 15 cents or 20 cents a dollar and ruin their country? That makes 0 sense.
Clifton says, I know, right? I'm stacking until it goes.
I don't blame you. I'm not mad at anybody that's collecting a dinar until it happens.
GQ wants to know, when will you think this will happen in your opinion?
I mean, a guess between now and when it happens. I mean, I don't know. I'm not here to guess. I mean, I'm a bad guesser. I guess all the time and I guess wrong. Everything I think should happen never happens.
Oh, I didn't see your number, Andrea. Give me a second. I'm trying to scroll for questions.
And y'all listen. Don't send me any other YouTubers, any other bloggers, any other whatever you want to call it information. I don't care. I don't want to hear what this person said or that person said. They're all full of shit. They have no clue.
Is it crucial for Iraq to RV before submitting the 2020 budget draft?
That's a very interesting question.
Is it?
It is. It very well is. Not because it has to be posted, but because it has to be accounted for. That's a very interesting question. That's not. That's a very. I don't know. I mean, if I knew that, I could tell you, but I think they do. I think they have to have somewhere in that rate an adjustment that's going to happen. Now, will it? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Andrea, our email is in the description of this video. You can email me there. Okay. When the time comes, will you let us know to come to which bank to exchange?
Yes.
And will it be Chase, Wells Fargo? We have heard Chase makes you wait to get notes verified. No. First, Wells Fargo is instant.
No. I'm going to Chase Bank to exchange our currency. I already talked to them. I know what the protocol is. I'm not waiting. I'm waiting minutes, not hours. I know the exchange process, what it's going to entail. I'm going to take more currency and then put it in different banks because of the way the banking laws are. But no, I'm not worried about exchange so much as I am the amount of interest they're going to give me once I put my money in their bank. If I'm not going to just deposit into one bank and then dump it into somewhere like Allied or some type of big fund to fuel my interest for at least the next year to pay me back for my exchange.
Okay.
The exchange is not really a big worry for me. I got to cover the taxes and make a little bit of profit for the year to make it profitable for us.
So it can go as high as that number, or can the RI be dirty higher than 322, or because of oil and gold?
If it's dirty, it can go as high as supply demands.
Mr. Brando, are they waiting to announce the new CBI governor officially to RI?
No, but the new CBI governor needs to be announced so that things can happen.
Do you know how long they have been finding forged notes?
Since 2003.
Mr. Brando, an ex-CIA retired person, was saying that the U.S. dollar was going to go gold back before this year, 2020. What is your knowledge on this?
My knowledge is this. If the dollar was going to go gold back, how would you explain the petrodollar, which the whole world runs off of? It can't. It doesn't exist. Sorry. The petrodollar way exceeds the gold dollar, and it always will until the world stops running on fossil fuels.
Do you think it is really possible to RI before January 2020 because it would entail redoing the current budget?
Yes, because they're going to turn to the budget next month. They could have already figured that in. Yes.
Mr. Brando, are they taking a small amount first to see how it goes at the bank, or are you fearless?
No, I'm going in with a small amount first, give them it 10 to 15 days, and then I'm going to be fearless.
So Chase is your first choice.
Yes, Chase is my first choice. Then Capital One, then Bank of America, then whatever.
Okay. Do you have plans to do a list of questions to ask during the exchange projects, such as perks?
For me and the crew that I represent, yes. If I recommend so many, how many, 100,000 millionaires, whatever, what are you going to offer them? And I will make that listing public to everybody that's on this platform.
Terry said he went to Chase Bank and asked about CDARS. The teller actually said she had never heard of CDARS. It really caught her off guard. You'll find a lot catches people off guard. Let me tell you this. I was a bank teller in high school. I went through a program. And some of the stuff I'm hearing today, I never heard of. So
my personal banker, Kevin, has heard of the Iraqi Dinar, but has never heard of CDARS.
Right.
I for Chase Bank for 10 years.
Right.
Or so he told me. So, whatever.
So what's the difference between gold back and gold standard? Do you know?
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
Gold back is your currency's backed by a certain percentage in gold. Gold standard, it's solely represented by gold.
Can they take our gold from us?
Yes.
Gold?
Yeah, if you hold gold bullion, the government set up the way it
but
is.
But not bullion. But like, say I hold an ounce of gold.
If it's 99.9% pure and it's bullion, the United States government can seize it. Yes. That's why I don't believe in gold back. They can't seize your guns, but they can seize my gold. I'm not giving you my guns or my gold. So forget it.
Okay. When do you plan on when do they plan on submitting the 2020 budget? After October 3rd?
Before September 31st, I believe.
Did I accidentally do something? Okay. I'm digging these questions. Oh, the other day you put out an article about the Arab Monetary Fund and the ISX. Can you expound on that?
Yeah, because the most valuable currencies in the world, the top ones were all based upon oil. ISX also said that they were going to launch regionally with Saudi Arabia. It's no secret that if they're going to launch in Saudi Arabia, it's a test market to see if they can go international. So that's why I posted that.
Can they seize our silver too?
No.
Ooh, buy silver. Silver on the rise. Chase told me they credit your account immediately. If your money is bad after it's verified as its home bank, it's charged back to your account like a bad check. That makes sense.
Does.
What's the importance of the AMF indexing the ISX stocks?
The ISX stocks market, because there's so few companies, is going to blow up because that market portfolio has outperformed the world for the last 10 years. So when the ISX blows, the dinar will be a big factor in how much money each stock makes. Does that make sense? So, not to be a jerk, but to say this, if the ISX goes and you have, let's say, 100,000 stocks, and the dinar goes for, let's say, $1, then basically because it's 11.90 to 1, you got to think for each dollar you have invested, it's now 1,200. So now you have 12 million. That stock's going to split. That makes your investment way worthwhile at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like that's huge amounts of money.
Okay. Do you know if GID Associates was a legitimate place to buy dinar. I've never heard of it.
I never heard of them.
Oh, Sammy D said, can't wait to meet y'all. Can't wait either. So Mr. Brando, because of the supply and demand, it can go as high as
it wants.
the Iraqi government wants it to.
No, not even the government. The demand. Once they submit to the Forex and say they're a dirty float, just like Kuwait, if they want to go to $12, $14, it's going to do that. It's going to do what it's going to do.
Robert said, this is like birthing a baby. Show me the baby.
I agree.
Wah, wah, wah. Okay. That's funny, though. Mr. Brando, are you interested in converting any % of your RI windfall into real silver and gold?
Very little. I'm buying real estate and doors.
Daisy, can you y'all take y'all love affair?
All right, Daisy.
Thank you. Oops, sorry.
You can't buy silver. You can't buy gold. I want something that appreciates, that pays me back monthly. That's why.
Well, you can buy it, but it's not gonna like pay you like dividends.
Monthly, it's not gonna pay me anything.
You're not gonna see a check from it until you sell it.
I gotta see a check. That's what I gotta see.
Okay, he asked that 3 times. Earl said Chase verified his currency.
Don't forget about the fundraiser that we're trying to do for the Bahamas, y'all. Go out there in the link in Facebook, on Twitter. Huh?
You're doing a fundraiser?
No. The charitable arm of the foundation is doing a fundraiser. It's separate.
Separate than your foundation.
Yeah, separate than our foundation. It's our foundation, but it's separate because they're doing it on their own, right?
So is it part of the Kangaroo Foundation?
The fundraiser is part of Inspirational Hope.
So it's by Inspirational Hope.
Yeah.
Okay. Please copy your notes. Make sure you get the serial numbers. That's what Mark Rogers said. I think.
How come no polo shirt tonight? I have polo socks on.
Let's see. No Sellout says, do we have to be members of the institution that we exchange currency for us? I guess I don't understand that question. I guess do you have to be a member of the bank? I would think so. However, the exchange in the mall here, the gentleman said you just schedule an appointment and come in.
But why would you? Okay, listen. You would have to schedule an appointment if you're at a currency exchange place. Would you walk into a mall and ask for 12 million cash or 5 million cash to order it? You can get it, right? But how are you going to walk from your car to back to wherever you're going to with 12 million cash? You ever seen $1 million cash? It's a lot of money. 5 million cash, even more money. You're going to feel safe riding around wherever you're from with that much cash on you?
No Sellout said the 25K note, is that the only note to focus on with IQDs? Hello?
Say again?
Where did the question go? I'm sorry. No Sellout asked, is the 25K note the only note to focus on with the IQD?
No. Anything from 2008 to 2009, all the notes are going to be exchangeable. There's no such thing as one note's better than another. That's bullshit.
Okay. See, I think that's pretty much it.
Then you want to cut it off?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all the questions. We did it. Welcome back on a Wednesday night. Have a great evening. Thank you, and call us tomorrow. Give to the charities. Help out the people in the Bahamas. Help out those that are in need. Love each other, and have a great night, okay?